Questions with the coach. What is going on, man? Still trying to figure out how to use this thing. Am I live? Am I there? Are you here? Are you here? Where are you? Are you here? Trying to figure this out. Trying to see if I get any comments this time. If I had to guess, that'd be a big fat no to that. Why? Because I'm pessimistic, that's why. Oh, it's Friday. Your favorite day and your favorite coach. See how that worked out? It worked out great in your favor. I am doing this a little earlier than usual. Usually I'm right around 2 o'clock. Today it's 1 o'clock. Why? Because it's summer and I want to get this over with. I got things I got to do, like eat lunch, pass out, maybe mentally prepare for the episode of Judge Judy I'm going to watch later today. You know, stuff. I got things I got to do. But seriously, sorry I missed last week. I don't know if that ruined your weekend. I apologize if it did. I don't know if I didn't feel like doing it, or if I actually had something to do that day. Usually if I had something to do, I would kind of move it around. So maybe I just didn't feel like doing it, you know? Life is like that, man. You got to be ready to go at all times. And last week I wasn't ready to go. But we're back. We're back with questions with the coach on a Friday. So I'm waiting to see if anybody actually asks me a question, because I'll answer it. It should be fitness related. At this point, it doesn't have to be. It can be questions about anything. It says I got one person watching, but I can't tell if that person's like me because I'm logged in, or if it's actually like a person. Who knows? At this, you know what? At this point, does it really matter? Does it? Does it really matter? What's been going on with me? Still doing tons of home improvement projects. So very proud about that. Built my own closet door. Recently installed a smart thermostat, not a thermometer. Yeah, I probably should. I installed the darn thing. You think I didn't do it correctly? I actually had to have the property management sent out somebody to fix what I had undone. You know what? There's a lot of wires, and I'm not. It said if I had a 4-wire setup, I was supposed to do it a certain way, which I did. But apparently that 5th wire had something to do with power supply. I'm not an electrician. I don't know. And then what else did I install? Oh, something else. It was good too. Oh, a smart deadbolt. So now I can just go beep boop bop beep bop boop boop and get into my place. I don't actually need the key anymore. And it's kind of cool that you can assign different codes for different people, and if you don't like that person, you just erase their code. They can't get in your place anymore. So huge, especially when you have a rotating cast of characters I like to hang out with. You know, you just never know who's going to be showing up with a meat cleaver at night. You know, you want to be able to erase that person from your smart deadbolt, which now I can. So it doesn't look like anyone. I can't tell if streaming polls, questions. Oh, I get to ask you guys questions, huh? What would you like to know? Why don't you ask me a question? That's what I would like to know. Bang. Got anybody coming at me? No one. So the topics I chose for today, because we typically get to my topics and not yours, because I've had people ask me questions before. So I'd like to think questions with the coach is something that we all look forward to. Maybe we're just a little gun shy when it comes to actually typing a question, because you're afraid I'm going to go, what a stupid question. Like, I'm a genius, you're a moron, I can't believe you asked that. But I won't do that. I mean, I would do that. I'm not going to do that now, though, because I want people to pay attention to what I'm saying. Have you signed up for the newsletter yet, CoachPots.com? That was supposed to go out yesterday. That went out today. I think this newsletter is a pretty good one. What else is going on in the world of pots? I talked about this in the newsletter. I did my first live boot camp, meaning in person, not virtual, last Saturday in the park. It was great. We got 8 people total, and some people I had never met before. Love to have them. Love to bring some more people along too. It's weird though, because there's got to be this balance. I think you're allowed to do outdoor boot camps, but it's only supposed to be like 10 or less or something like that. We had 8. Wasn't breaking the law. And I don't know when that's going to change. Like maybe with the next phase it's supposed to, but we were all socially distant and all were socially responsible. Ended up being a fantastic group. We did about a 45-minute all body weight. If I had to do it again, I would have told people to wear gloves or possibly put a towel on the ground. But it was good. It was good stuff, man. So next, what are we going to do? Another one? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. Next Saturday. So not this Saturday. Tomorrow, which is the first day of summer. We're not doing it then. I'm going to run a 10K out in the suburbs instead. But we will do another boot camp the 27th. It'll be the same place, 24th and Dearborn. I really like that park there. Conveniently located for me. Not too... It's pretty convenient for anybody who lives in the South Loop, too. I realize it's not the heart in the South Loop, but a lot of people live near... I mean, you know what? Jog there. That's a good warm-up. How do you like that? Question I wanted to tackle today. Should you warm up? As in, I guess for exercise. And the answer to that is yes. There's two types of warm-ups you could possibly do. A general warm-up, which is what I typically do, or a specific warm-up, which is probably what I should do. But again, when it comes to the training regimen I've been doing, it's I don't want to say it's not so specific that I need a workout or a warm-up that's tailored to what I'm doing that day. A great example of that would be Olympic lifting. You know, if you're Olympic lifting, do you need to go run 2 miles before you get started? No. But should you repeat some of the movement patterns in your warm-up that you're going to be doing later in that session? Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, empty barbell complex, anything called complex, you could do a stick complex, kettlebell complex, barbell complex, is literally a series of back-to-back exercises. Empty implying no weight on the bar. You can use a 45-pound bar. You can use a lighter bar if you'd like. But an empty barbell complex, mimicking some of the movements you're going to do for that Olympic lifting session, that would be an example of a specific warm-up. And that would be, I find it hard to believe that only one person is watching. Like, nobody else is watching this. Folks, do you not realize the content that I'm giving away for free? You'd have to pay millions for this. And this is, I'm gonna try and sign in here. And then typically what I will do is a general warm-up. So what do I mean by general warm-up? Well, I'm glad you asked. You know, for me, that could be anything from running to, you know, just doing dynamic stretches, you know, like leg swings, arm circles, walking lunges, anything. The warm-up itself has a specific purpose. And I don't mean to say specific to get confused. What I'm trying to say is we warm up for a reason. The warm-up is to elevate the heart rate, to increase the elasticity of the muscles, and also just get your mind prepared from, I used to be sitting in a chair, now I'm moving my body, and I'm going to be continuously moving my body, and I want my mind to know exactly what's going on here. So there is a reason we do warm-ups. Now, I'm guilty of doing specific, general warm-ups that are too long. So I kind of like integrate the warm-up and, let's say, like the opening portion of my workout together. I've been known to do warm-ups that last anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. That's too long. If you really have like a long strength segment or something planned for the end of the day. But my mentality, especially like a boot camp mentality, used to always be like, beat them up initially, try to get them to hang on, finish them off at the very end, and hopefully nobody wants to kill you and they come back for another session. I found, especially with boot camps and stuff, pushing people is definitely the way to go. They seem to really appreciate that type of thing because they definitely wouldn't do something like that on their own. And my philosophy has always been, try to keep up with me. If you can't, do your best. If you can and you feel like you need to dial it up a little bit, that's cool too, but you want to continually be pushing, and then take a break when you're done. Rest. So my warm-ups are typically general, elevated heart rate, elastic muscles, get the mind ready to warm up. It could be anything, you know, but I like some sort of cardio activity. So, you know, back in the day when I was at the gym, it would be like a 2,000 meter row might be a decent warm-up. I know some people are like, oh my God, that's like a whole workout. But, you know, anywhere that 5 day, it would take me at least 8 minutes to do, usually like 7:30 to do a 2,000 meter row, but jumping rope, anything to elevate the heart rate. And after that, dynamic stretching. Very rarely do I do static stretching at the beginning, and if I do, my static stretches don't last for more than like 5-10 seconds, and it's only because that's what I'm used to doing. Like, I've always been doing that since I started working out like 30 years ago. But you know, keeping it general, and then once I want to be able to be sweating just a little bit, a little challenging to talk, you know, go grab a drink of water, go into my workout. So should you warm up? Yes. Why? It helps prevent injury. Why? Because you're getting the body primed to move. And, you know, coming in cold like that there is always potential that you're going to, you know, pull a muscle or something. I found that if I'm sore or if it's really cold, I'll spend extra time warming up, and it really does make a huge difference. So there's the answer to that question, Mike Pinelli. Thanks for joining. We're up to 2 people now. That's amazing. Second to that, what are core exercises? What is the core? What implies core strength? I have kind of, I would say I'm maybe not the best person to answer this because I don't consider myself to be a core expert. But core, the whole term kind of popped up in the fitness industry. I would say, maybe like 15, 20 years ago, people were talking about the strength of the core. Essentially, it all spawned from Pilates. Pilates was invented by Joe Pilates. It was supposed to be the dancer's workout. It was supposed to focus primarily on secondary muscles. So like not your triceps or your chest or your back, but the muscles that help contribute to those muscles. And the idea behind the core itself was everything that's not your head, your arms, or your legs, right? So this torso essentially. But do you need to do specific exercises that just target that area? You can, but does that mean that you're going to be strong in that area? It's hard to tell. If you're a gymnast or a dancer, you're going to need core specific exercises because body control is everything. If we're talking about like lifting like brute amount of strength, like picking stuff from the floor, lifting stuff over your head, even doing like the bench press, the back squat, are you going to need a strong core? Sure, but do you need to target that area specifically? Not specifically, because you're going to hit the core just by doing those exercises. They say the people with the strongest core, gymnasts are obviously way up there, but Olympic weightlifters as well. And I guarantee you, Olympic weightlifters don't do Pilates. And Pilates is literally just a series of exercises that targets the muscles that aren't just your arms and your legs and your head, obviously. I think the head is, I probably don't need to say the head because I don't know any exercises that target specifically the head. I know a couple that target specifically the neck, but not the head. So everything that's not your arms and your legs. So that's what Pilates is. And do you see Olympic weightlifters doing Pilates? No. And do they have a strong core? Absolutely. I think anytime you can lift anything over your head and hold it there, you're going to need a strong core. Same thing with back squat. You're not going to be able to mount, weight like that on your back and be able to descend hip crease below knee without having a strong torso. You would buckle. So they have strong cores. They don't train the core specifically. How do you quantify a strong core? It's a buzzword in the industry, right? Do these exercises. You're going to have a strong core. Strong core is going to help with all the other movements. Everything comes from the center. So, and it's like, but how do you quantify that? I don't know. It's a mystery. And because you can't quantify it, it's not like saying, hey, train with me and I'll shave 30 seconds off your 1 mile time. You're saying, hey, I'll make your core stronger. I don't know. What does that mean? I can do a plank longer? That's not even core strength. That's core endurance. So it's like, it's an ambiguous term. It's used to sell exercise balls, BOSUs, bands, any type of stuff that you think of fitness equipment that's going to target specifically the core that's going to help. I don't know. All I know is you're going to get a strong core if you lift heavy weight and using what I like to refer to as functional movements. And that's another question that I'm willing to go into. What's Coach Potts' definition of functional movement? Functional movement is anything that applies to the real world, meaning if you lift something like put it on a shelf, that would be functional, right? But my definition specifically is using your entire body all the time. So bicep curl, calf raise, leg extension, those exercises are not functional because A, they don't specifically, apply to any real world movement, but B, you're not using your whole body. So if an exercise is quote unquote functional, one arm dumbbell snatch is great. I'm lifting a dumbbell from the ground to all the way above my head. I use my whole body to do it. Couldn't tell you which muscles I use because I pretty much use all of them at some point. So that's a great functional exercise. Functional strength is another, I guess, fitness term, but to me you can clearly define if an exercise is functional because you're using your whole body, and you can understand if someone has functional strength because they can usually maneuver their body in space, being able to do push-ups, pull-ups, lift heavy objects, do that type of thing. If someone has a strong core, I think they might be good at Pilates class, I guess. But does that mean their core is strong? I don't know. It really is an ambiguous term, and if you find a lot of fitness professionals are kind of going away from it because it became the thing that everyone talked about, and now that everyone's talking about it, it's not cool anymore. And because they've been doing the BOSU for 20 years now, people don't do the BOSU anymore because that's just not the cool thing. So such is life. Are kettlebells the core strengthening exercise? That can be, but so is Olympic weightlifting, so is powerlifting, so is anything that requires you to lift a lot of weight. So answered those questions. Should you do a warm-up? Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's something 2 to 3 minutes, anything just to kind of get the heart rate elevated, get the body moving, let your mind know that you're going to be doing something. Also, what are core exercises? What is core strength? Everything that's not your arms and your legs, technically. Pilates is the exercise regime that targets the core specifically, but if you want a strong core, I think there's better ways to do it, although a strong core is very difficult to quantify. So that's it, man. That was questions with the coach. Man, how long have we been going so far? 15 minutes. Whoa, this is a good session. So once I get around to it, I'm going to post this on YouTube. I know you're dying for it. I know some of you guys missed it, and you can watch the live replay. I have no problem. I'll keep it up here on my Facebook wall. Do they still call it a wall? I would imagine. Doesn't matter. Questions with the coach. Next time, you Goombas need to get together and ask me questions so I can just, knock these out of the park. But other than that, hope you enjoy your weekend. Hope you enjoy your summer, which starts officially tomorrow. I will be grilling tonight. I hope it doesn't rain tomorrow. I will be spending some time with my dad on Father's Day. If your dad's still around, reach out to him, man. It's that day. We get to put our dads up on that pedestal. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. So I'm just taking a guess. I don't know. You might hate your dad. Don't hate your dad. I don't care. I don't know your dad. I don't hate my dad. I'm looking forward. I love him very much, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with him. So I'm going to get the hell out of here before I say anything stupid, in addition to all the other stupid things I've already said. Enjoy yourself. We'll see you next time.